The doctor has returned. And I know I don't say my name enough, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat it just because I feel like there's some new people, because for some reason my content has been getting consistently higher views than my brother. Except for on a few occasions, but those were things where he dipped more into my territory than his, but he also found a loophole that would make it to where I'm gonna keep that to myself, and my face itches. Now, that being said, you can see the title. You know why I'm here. I'm here for culture. And my favorite type of animated woman. The brick. Brick. Some of you out there think the word's thick, and that's what you get out of life. But not me. I'm a man of culture. I can't see the muscles coming out of her thighs, and I know that she could kick the shit out of me if she wanted to. Not enough, woman. Brick. Not thick. Brick. Now, that being said, let's get on into this one. And if I can say the name right, because I am whiter than a bagel, and this is a long fucking name. Now, on today's episode of Dr. Doujinshi's HeNtAi Reviews, we'll be looking at, let's see if I can get this. Watashi ga Turiko ni Natte Yaru. Watashi go Troki ni Natte Yaru. Episodes 1 and 2. I got it right. Maybe. Like I said, I'm white, and I refuse to look up the pronunciation because it's really late, and my brother has to work tomorrow, and it's a son of a bitch because he got a longer shift than he was expecting. Now, that being said, there are 2 episodes to this, and they're about 20 minutes apiece with 13-ish categories. I know the second episode has 13 categories. The first episode would have roughly the same, given the fact that they are very similar content overall. Now, that being said, this is done by Queen Bee, and if you've seen one of my earlier reviews, specifically for Secret Journey, you'll know that Queen Bee they're a strange production company. They don't really have the best quality when it comes to animation, but their models are very good overall. The line work in them makes them look a certain way that you can almost forgive the animation, but the animation is just so, like, stilted and choppy that it makes you feel bad. But they have so much content. I should probably get into this before I actually start going into it. Yes, I'm reading from my script because I wrote the damn thing, and I'm going to read from it whenever I want. And you thought I wouldn't mention it, but yes, we have 14 subscribers now. There are 14 friends all here for the degeneracy that I have created. Everybody say hi, shake hands, or don't shake hands. Go ahead and stand a good 6 feet away from each other and high five from a distance. As a matter of fact, just finger guns. That's all you get. We all have friends, and now there's an even number of us. That's a numeral of 7, and I like that. Now, that being said, Episode 1 starts with a guy getting bullied by 3 other people because he's part of the swim club, and and one of the only... I think there's only one female... I think there's 2 female members in the swim club overall, and him being in it, the 3 guys who are kind of bullying him, saying that if he doesn't go videotape these girls, Porky style, through a lot, not really through a locker if you're comparing those two, but just kind of viewing them with a camcorder and like, oh, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get good shots of naked women, as if porn doesn't exist on a computer for free without the risk of everything that you're going through. So he gets bullied into going in there, in which case he hides inside of an open locker that belongs to one of the girls. The main girl, the tall one, the prick, she then goes in and is halfway taking off her swimsuit And once she opens the locker, she finds him immediately in there, but stays completely cool the entire time, while there's also another girl in there who's getting undressed and changing into her stuff. She ends up getting the guy off, and then moving on to saying, moving on to actually saying, all right, let's go ahead and see if we can find a mutually beneficial agreement. If we both come to a mutually beneficial agreement. She says that quietly to him and then says, hey, I'm going to go take a shower where I'll be back in just a second, and then sprints in there really fast so that her friend doesn't notice. She then goes into the shower room. Shower room is soundproof, which is a weird addition because it's a shower and you kind of need to know if people are showering. So, I don't know. I've been in a public shower before. They're weird fucking experiences. And once she's in there, she stays in there for a while. They just start hooking up. And then a little bit later, once they've been in there for a second, the main girl, is about to like finish with the dude. And then the second girl, the one that was in there before, comes in and is like, is anyone still here? She's like, shit. And then they both hide in like a shower stall. The guy is a little overzealous about what's going on and starts. It's one of those classic moments in like sitcoms where one person is hooking up with the other, where one person is trying to do something and then they have to like hide it from somebody, so they see all those hijinks where it's like, oh, there's someone behind me at all times, but if I keep looking straight, they won't be able to see behind me. It's stupid stuff like that. Yeah, but imagine one character is getting fucked and she's not allowed to get the other person to notice. Well, then they finally convince her, and she's like, all right, I'll be out of the shower in a minute. I'll go hang out with you after that. And then she closes the shower. Then they end up fucking in the shower for a while. The guy and the prick, not the girl and the other girl. Strangely enough, 2 girls in a hentai, and there's no Yuri scenes. Gotta respect the restraint on that one. Now, after that, they end up hooking up, and then the guy gets out of the shower and finds the bullies waiting for him. They're like, what? You didn't get the camera? So the prick shows up, grabs the camera, and smashes it over the bully's head. And then they end up together. Well, the guy and the prick. And then the next episode, and then it kicks into the final third of the first episode, which is the story of what was going on between the secondary girl and the person she was texting throughout the entire thing. Turns out the person she was texting has like a swimsuit thing going on with him. So she shows up on a roof with the swimsuit and the guy, and they just start going at it. And it's pretty hard because the guy's super into the swimsuit. And then as they're about to like finish, the door opens to the roof, and the 3 bullies from earlier, for some reason, it's not like they couldn't afford another model for different characters. They open the door, they're like, what's going on up here? And the girl grabs the dude and somehow jumps up to the roof of like the little staircase that they came up from and hide from them. She had a 6-foot vertical jump while holding another human being. I gotta give that girl credit. Jesus fuck. Now, after that, they end up sneaking away and going back into the locker room, which leads to the events of her talking to the girl who was the brick who was showering with the other dude while they were fucking. And then it goes back to that moment. And then they're like, alright, well, let's see what happens later. Then the second episode kicks in where the girl who was texting and has the swimsuit and the boyfriend with the swimsuit fetish, they actually hook up in the shower adjacent to the brick and the other guy. They end up hooking up. Their showers apparently super loud, and the girl is like super thick-headed, so the brick is super thick-headed, so they don't hear each other. They both just end up getting off in the same thing at the same time, or two different stalls at the same time. It's weird that everybody is so deaf, but like just roll with it. Then the second episode then continues on after that. It goes back to the focus of the main two characters, the brick and the girl and the guy. Guy's kind of feminine-ish. It's one of those where like the dude is shorter than the girl, but the dude also has an enormous dick. Like it's one of those weird transitions. It's one of those weird like switch ups, but it's excusable because brick women are best women. Have I said brick enough? Because I feel like I could say it more. Appreciate the culture, and the culture will appreciate you. Hopefully. God damn it, I want one of those. Now, after that, the girl ends up, or the guy, after they finish for like the second, maybe third, I don't know, however many times they've been hooking up in the locker room, the guy goes ahead and says, hey, why don't we just like hang out after school? Well, like you can come to the movies with me, or the girl's like, all right, you're pretty bold for what you're doing. I'll give you a chance. So then they both leave. The girl then goes up to her friends and says, I don't have any cute clothes. I'm kind of a jock. I have tracksuits and I have swimsuits. I don't have anything else. And they're like, all right, I have one outfit that I can give to you. And one of the girls gives her like a super sexy set of clothes that's like one of those ones that shows off your midriff a lot and has like really short skirt. Imagine the main girl from Seven Deadly Sins. I forgot her name. I haven't seen Seven Deadly Sins in a while. The girl that Meliodas is always feeling up. Just imagine that outfit. You're solid. That's it. That's all you need to imagine. Now, after that, they both show up at the movies, and everybody focuses on the girl because she's taller than everybody and kind of stands out, but she's also dressed super hot. They're like, oh, is she a model? Let's all focus around her and stand in a circle because that's realistic. And then the dude then like the main dude is getting hard because, well, brick in sexy clothing. That's understandable. So then she picks up the dude and is like, let's get away from all these people. And then they go into a park, like a secluded part of the park, and the girl's like, fine. If it'll stop you from being as rock solid as you are right now, I'll get you off. And then sucky. It's like, alright, now you're good. Oh, wait, you're not good? And then they hook up again, and then they're like, alright, I admit it's fun getting together with you. And the guy continues going. He's like, wait, what the fuck? And then they finish for the next time. Then they find out, like, wait, we just did it in a public park. How did we not get caught? Then she ends up she's like, hears something through like the hedge that they were like 5 feet away from. And it turns out the two girls, the brick's friends, the two girls, said like, oh, where'd you get that uniform for? Actually, it was my sister. She uses it when she works. Truth is, there's actually cat ears that come with it. Stupid joke. And then then the brick pulls them through the hedge, and it's like, what was that? And then the whole thing ends. And that was Watashi go Turiko ni Natte Yaru by Queen Bee. And let's get into my ratings because I have a little bit to say about this. The animation. Queen Bee animation. Enough said. 3 out of 10. Decent line work. Character models look decent. Character models look good, but there's absolutely no... Listen, I recently watched the Anime Man's recent video, the one before his newest one, as of when this is coming out. And his video was talking about the worst hentai ever made, and now I have something to finally compare this to animation-wise. And I'm still giving it a 3 out of 10, because that thing is a 1 out of 10 This is marginally better. The characters actually look good. They actually look good, but they're stilted animation and almost like puppetry arm work. Like certain things will move and certain like boobs will move in a pattern, as well as body parts will move in a pattern, but on a rotating axis for some reason. It's a weird thing that 3 out of 10, Queen Bee, you're doing one thing right, but you're doing everything else wrong. Now, the characters are fun, but ultimately they're cookie cutter ish, except for the main girl. Bricks can do no wrong. Let's go ahead and put it that way. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10 for what it does, because they have decent personality for a few of them, but once you like look any further, then they're just pretty much cookie cutters of everything they could possibly be. Just horny smaller boyfriend, promiscuous girl, and guy with certain fetish. Brick is really the only one that has any like, ooh, I want to see more of what she's thinking or how she comes up with any of this. Now, the content itself is fun and vulgar with good variety, but most of it relies on very vanilla resources. Like, there's a good amount of scenes. There's about 3 scenes that last about, say, 5 to 6 minutes apiece per episode. Now, that would take up most of the episode itself, but most of what happens is very vanilla. It's always, so nothing crazy happens. There's mouth stuff, and then below the waist, there's nothing like back area. There's very much boobs. That's as far as they go. They never really focus on any other part. All right, but overall, what they did do with it is very good at what they did. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 on the content. Now, averaging it all up and putting it together, the overall would be a 6 out of 10. Now, on that note, this is a good 6 out of 10. This is slightly above average when it comes to scaling across the board, but personally, this is a 6 out of 10 that you could write in gold. Now, if I were to include my notes for what I wrote alongside this, I would note the words brick. Now, all of you are having fun with me at this point. I'd like to thank the fact that we have gone above and beyond how many views I ever thought I would get, along with what my brother has been doing, and the fact that we both have a combined 14 subscribers of this point. I have so much thanks for every single one of you, including the ones that don't watch my videos, because you got better stuff to do, and I'm not going to blame you for anything. Now, if you want to watch the videos, you can. If you don't, you don't. Oh, so have a nice day. I will come back with another video in, let's say, a week-ish. 6 days. It's going to be 6 days. But until next time, I have been the Doctor. Have a nice day. Make sure you're having fun out there. If you're working hard, work hard. If you don't need to, if you're working off of a stimulus check, enjoy it. If you're working off unemployment, enjoy that as well. And if you're having a bad day, hope you have a better one. Wash your hands. Make sure everything is clean. Don't go touching people, or I'll break off whatever you touch. Now, Doctor says, have a nice day, and I don't know, have fun. Bye, guys.